Welcome back to Book to Read, ready for episode 11.
Let's do it.
This time, we're taking a deep dive into The Lightning Thief.
Oh yeah, the start of Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series.
Right. It's full of Greek mythology and teen angst and all that good stuff.
You know what always gets me about this book?
What's that?
Riordan makes these ancient myths feel so fresh.
It's true. Like he plucked them right out of history and dropped them in modern America.
Exactly.
And the best part, we see it all through Percy's eyes.
He's a great character.
He is. He's 12, been kicked out of tons of schools.
Oh yeah, dealing with dyslexia and ADHD too.
Feels like a total outcast.
Oh,
You ever feel like that growing up? Like you never fit in?
definitely. I think a lot of young readers connect with that in Percy.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling of being different, not belonging.
Right.
But for Percy, things go from normal to totally wild.
Oh yeah, things get crazy.
On a field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Sounds pretty normal so far.
It was, until his pre-algebra teacher turned into a fury and attacked him.
Whoa, hold on. A fury?
That's what I thought. For those who aren't mythology buffs.
You mean like me?
Maybe. Can you give us a quick explanation of what furies are?
Sure. In Greek mythology, they're these terrifying female deities.
Okay, so pretty scary.
Definitely, often shown with wings and snakes for hair. Basically, the goddesses of vengeance.
Yikes.
They punish anyone who commits serious crimes.
So imagine Percy's shock when his teacher turns into one of these.
Yeah, talk about a bad day at school.
Seriously. But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
It gets wilder.
Way wilder. His Latin teacher, Mr. Brunner, well,
Mr. Brunner.
he reveals himself to be Chiron, a centaur.
No way, like half horse, half human?
Yep. Riordan just drops that in so casually like it's nothing.
It's such a cool way to bring in the mythology, though.
It really is.
Yeah.
And Chiron isn't just any centaur either. He trains heroes.
Whoa!
And he whisks Percy away to Camp Half-Blood.
Camp Half-Blood. What's that?
It's a safe place for, get this, demigods?
Wait, so first his math teacher is a fury, and now he's a demigod. Okay, I'm lost. What does demigod even mean?
Basically, it means Percy's half god, half human.
Half god. That's intense.
It is. And not just any god. His dad is Poseidon.
Poseidon, like the god of the sea.
The one and only.
So that explains a lot.
Like what?
Well, you know, his ability to control water and talk to, sea creatures.
Makes sense. Right.
Totally.
But seriously, imagine finding out your dad is a Greek god.
Life-changing for sure.
And it gets even more intense. Just as Percy's accepting this whole demigod thing,
Oh no. What now?
Zeus's master lightning bolt is stolen. Percy is the prime suspect.
What? Poor Percy.
I know. He's just figuring out he's a demigod, and now he's accused of stealing from Zeus.
That's rough, like being grounded but on a cosmic level.
The worst. So to clear his name, and to prevent a war between the gods.
Oh wow, the stakes are high.
They are. Percy has to go on a quest to find the real thief and return the lightning bolt.
Classic hero stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
But Riordan gives it this modern twist that makes it so exciting.
And relatable, I bet.
Oh, totally. And Percy's not alone on this quest.
Who goes with him?
He has Annabeth Chase. She's the daughter of Athena, the brains of the group,
Okay, smart girl.
for sure.
Okay.
And then there's Grover Underwood. He's a satyr and Percy's protector.
Satyr. Remind me what those are again.
Half goat, half human.
Right. So, their friendship makes the story even better.
It really does. They bicker and support each other. They face all this craziness together.
That's what makes their dynamic so fun. They're so different.
They are. It's like their personalities reflect their godly parents, you know?
How so?
Well, Annabeth is Athena's daughter, so she's strategic, logical.
Makes sense.
Grover, as a satyr, is more connected to nature. He's got that goofy side.
And Percy?
Well, with Poseidon as his dad, he's impulsive and courageous, always rushing into danger.
Sounds like a recipe for trouble.
It is. But speaking of trouble, the challenges they face are insane.
Oh yeah, like what?
They're not dealing with pop quizzes, they're battling mythical creatures.
No way. Give me an example.
We're talking the Minotaur, Medusa,
No way. Medusa with the deadly stare.
the one and only. Riordan makes her sound so terrifying.
He's good at that.
He is. But it's not just physical challenges.
There's more.
There's these really clever psychological ones too, like the Lotus Casino.
The Lotus Casino, what's so special about it?
It traps people in this state of pure bliss. They forget everything.
Really?
Yeah, they lose all track of time.
Sounds kind of nice, actually.
Maybe at first, but imagine being stuck there forever.
Yikes. Not so fun then.
Not at all. It makes you think about the dangers of escapism,
How so?
like getting so caught up in distractions that you forget your responsibilities.
That's deep.
Right. But speaking of distractions, let's not forget about Ares.
Ares, as in the god of war.
Yep. He throws a whole other wrench in the works.
Oh boy, this is getting complicated.
You have no idea. Ares, the god of war himself,
Wow, things just keep escalating.
don't they? But what really impressed me was how Percy changes throughout all this.
He does go through a lot, doesn't he?
He does. At the start, he's so lost and confused. Doesn't know who he is, where he fits.
He's just a kid trying to find his way.
Exactly. But through all these trials and dangers, he grows so much.
How so?
He learns to trust his instincts, rely on his friends.
And most importantly,
He embraces being a demigod, owns it.
it's like a classic coming-of-age story.
It is, but with a mythological twist.
Makes it even better.
So much better. And I think we can all relate to that, even if we aren't fighting monsters, you know?
To what?
That feeling of trying to figure out who you are, what your place is.
Absolutely. Everyone goes through that.
Right. And one of the big takeaways from The Lightning Thief is that
What is it?
sometimes your weaknesses can become your strengths.
That's a good point. Like, what seems bad can actually be good.
Exactly. Look at Percy. His dyslexia, ADHD, they made him feel like an outcast in the normal world.
Yeah, like he didn't fit in.
Right. But in the demigod world, those things become assets.
They help him.
They do. It's like what makes you different can actually make you special.
It's a powerful message.
It is. It's saying embrace your differences. You know, they make you unique, capable of amazing things.
I love that.
Me too. And we can't forget about the importance of friendship in all of this.
Oh, definitely. His friends are there with him every step of the way.
They are. Annabeth and Grover. They help him through everything.
Their bond is so strong.
It is. It really shines through, especially when they're bickering like siblings one minute.
And then defending each other fiercely the next.
Exactly. It's that genuine connection that makes their friendship so relatable.
It reminds us that everyone needs support, even heroes.
Even heroes. And that true friendship can help you through anything.
Totally agree. But speaking of heroes, there are some seriously brave moments in this book.
Oh yeah, facing a minotaur or Medusa, that
Wow.
takes guts.
I would have run the other way.
Right, but Percy never backs down. He even confronts Ares, the god of war.
Whoa. Talk about courageous.
Seriously. And what's interesting is, it's not that Percy isn't afraid.
He's still human after all.
He is. He's terrified in a lot of these situations.
But he pushes through the fear.
That's exactly it. He chooses to face his fears, even when the odds are against him.
That's what makes him a true hero.
I think so too. It's not about not being scared, but about overcoming that fear.
And doing what needs to be done.
Yes. And that's a powerful message for everyone, don't you think?
Definitely. It encourages us all to be brave, stand up for what's right.
Even when it's hard. But remember that twist? Where we find out Ares stole the lightning bolt?
Oh yeah, the plot twist.
He was being manipulated by Kronos, the Titan King.
Who wanted to start a war between the gods?
Exactly. Talk about a betrayal.
It makes you realize things aren't always what they seem.
And who you think you can trust.
Right, it adds so much complexity to the story.
It does. And even though Percy clears his name, returns the lightning bolt, defeats Ares.
Sounds like a happy ending.
It does, but it also feels like just the beginning.
Oh, how so?
The ending has this sense of anticipation, like there's so much more to come in Percy's story.
I get that feeling too. And remember that excerpt at the end about Magnus Chase?
Oh yeah, that was intriguing.
It's like a glimpse into another world, the world of Norse mythology.
And we all know Riordan loves to explore different mythologies.
He does. It's like he's opening a door to new adventures, and we're invited.
And I, for one, can't wait to see where he takes us next.
Me neither. It's brilliant how he does that, you know? Gives us just enough to make us curious.
And leave us wanting more.
Exactly. Speaking of wanting more, sometimes I wish I could talk to other readers about these things.
You mean like discuss the book?
Yeah.
Share theories?
Exactly. It's always fun to hear what other people think.
I know. Well, guess what? There's an app for that.
Seriously, what is it?
It's called Bookspace. Have you heard of it?
Bookspace. No, tell me more.
It's made for book lovers, a place to connect, share thoughts, organize your reading list.
So it's like a virtual book club.
Kind of. You can create groups for specific books, like The Lightning Thief.
And really get into the details, the characters, everything.
Exactly. It's awesome. I'm totally addicted.
I'm going to check it out for sure. But before we get lost in Bookspace, let's get back to Percy.
Good idea. There's still so much to talk about.
Where should we start?
Well, one thing that really struck me was how Riordan blends those ancient myths with a modern setting.
It's what makes the book so unique. It's familiar and fantastical at the same time.
It is, like he took these old stories and gave them a modern makeover.
Exactly. He made them relevant to us, connected them to things we experience today.
Like what?
Well, like the whole idea of demigods being outcasts, struggling to fit in.
Oh yeah, that resonates with so many young people today.
It does. It's like a metaphor for feeling different, not belonging.
Which is something we've all felt at some point.
Especially during those awkward teenage years.
For sure. And Riordan doesn't shy away from showing those tougher emotions.
Like what?
Like Percy's anger towards his absent father, his frustration with being an outsider.
Those are real feelings.
They are. And it's that honesty that makes Percy such a great character.
He's not perfect. He makes mistakes. He doubts himself.
He's human.
Exactly. And that's what makes his journey so powerful.
I agree. He learns to accept himself, flaws and all, and embrace what makes him unique.
That's a great lesson for everyone.
It really is. It's saying you don't have to be perfect to be amazing.
You just have to be yourself.
Exactly. It's true. Percy's journey is all about embracing who you are.
It is, but there's another layer to it too.
What that?
Family. Riordan explores that a lot in this book.
Oh yeah. Family, both biological and chosen.
Exactly. Percy's relationship with his mom, Sally, is amazing.
She's such a great mom, so supportive and protective.
Even though she's not a demigod herself.
She's strong in her own way.
Definitely. And she keeps Percy grounded, even with all the craziness around him.
She does. And then there's Camp Half-Blood. It's like a family for the demigods.
You're right, it's this place where they finally belong.
They find acceptance there, something they haven't felt before.
It's a haven for them. A place where they can just be themselves.
Without judgment or fear.
And the friendships they build there, they become so important.
Like family, almost.
Exactly. It shows the power of community, finding your tribe.
Your people.
Yeah, the ones who understand and accept you.
But speaking of tribes, remember that little teaser at the end?
With Magnus Chase?
Yeah, it's like a whole new world opening up.
The world of Norse mythology.
I love how Riordan does that, gives us a glimpse into something new.
Leaves us wanting more. He's so good at that.
He is. And it's not just the mythology. Magnus himself is intriguing.
He's an outcast, living on the streets of Boston.
Struggling to survive.
It reminds me of Percy's story, but with a different backdrop.
I see that. Both Percy and Magnus start out feeling lost, alone.
And then they discover these powers they never knew they had.
It's like a whole new hero's journey is about to begin.
With its own twists and turns.
And that ending, with Magnus seeing that shadowy figure vanish.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Right. It makes you wonder what's going to happen next.
And those uncles searching for him, especially Randolph, it's so mysterious. What are their secrets?
Exactly. And remember what Magnus's mom told him.
Not to trust anyone, especially Randolph.
Yeah, that sends chills down my spine.
It does. It creates this atmosphere of mystery and danger. Makes you wonder who Magnus can trust, what dangers he'll face. It's the perfect setup for a new series.
It is. It leaves us excited for more adventures in Riordan's world.
A world full of myths and heroes and endless possibilities.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into The Lightning Thief,
what are your final thoughts?
what stuck with you the most about Percy's story?
And what about you? What resonated with you?
And for all our listeners out there, we have a question for you.
What if you discovered you were a demigod?
How would you handle it?
Yeah.
Which god would be your parent?
What powers would you have?
It's fun to think about.
It is. And if you want to share your thoughts or hear from other readers,
Make sure to check out Bookspace.
it's the best place to connect with other bookworms.
Discuss your theories, find your own demigod tribe.
Until next time, happy reading.
Keep those pages turning.